All right, and we are live. Welcome everyone to this special Thursday night Q&A. Of course, I am Robbie One Kenobi, and I could not do this Q&A by myself. And of course, you know who I'm joined with. He is the realest Giza in the room, the realest Giza in this chat. Daniel, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you, Robbie, and hello, one and all, and welcome to some Thursday night SmackDown Q&A. We're going to lay at the SmackDown with these Q&A questions, so I figured that would be an appropriate title.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you. We did a Friday night Q&A a few weeks ago. That was a lot of fun. We've been trying to do a follow-up for a while now, and we've just been very busy with work, and we have not had a chance to do this until this week. So Daniel, as always, thank you for joining me.
Absolutely.
To everyone that I sent a link to, like I want to say 5 minutes ago, if you're watching this live, you are welcome to leave questions in the side chat box, and we will get to them at the end of our Q&A. So without any further ado, Daniel, I already know you're ready, willing, and able, so let's kick this Q&A off. Well, actually, you know what, Daniel, real quick, before we get to the Q&A, I want to talk to you about something for just a couple minutes real quick. I don't do weekly SmackDown or NXT reviews, but I gotta say, after how frustrating Clash of Champions was, and the fact that I did not watch Monday Night Raw,
oh boy,
I gotta say SmackDown was just an awesome show from start to finish. That was an A show in a nutshell, dude.
And let me follow that up with an oh hell yeah!
Everything that happened on SmackDown, I was excited for. It was a fun show. It had storytelling, character development. Everything was great. I loved it. I mean, the Dolph Ziggler Miz segment, the homecoming segment, what a
direction
segment. Yes. Dolph Ziggler, I think, had a great emotional promo. The Miz killing it as a heel, killing it as the Intercontinental Champion once again. The main event with AJ Styles defending the title against Dean Ambrose and John Cena getting
really good. Yes,
that further adds intensity and build to the matchup at No Mercy. I loved it. The little maze, so to speak, that Randy Orton had to go through to get to Bray Wyatt.
Different. I like it.
Yes. The only thing was I wish Bray would have gotten a little more offense and maybe laid Orton out, but
I have to mention this. What did you think of the production glitch? Because I laughed my ass off with that.
So the thing, I didn't watch it live, Daniel.
Oh my
I watched it on Hulu. But during it, like from what I saw, he was in the chair, and they kept showing like all these different images of Bray Wyatt. Now, is that the glitch you're talking about?
Yeah, Orton was saying, "I got the whole world," and then it like started to play this laugh loop, and then it like glitched, and then it showed Bray, and Bray wasn't saying anything, and I'm like,
you know what? I didn't even stop and think of it as a glitch because the way I saw it was when
it kind of could. It was a glitch. I know because you know how WWE is. They have a polished presentation, and that just to me, it looked out of place. Like. You notice the announcers' reactions afterwards. They're like, "Yeah, we fucked up."
To me, I didn't see it as a glitch or a botch because honestly, when I saw it, I was like, when it kept playing, I was thinking like maybe when he put the mask on, he got like, you into the world of how twisted and sadistic the Wyatt.
Okay.
Yeah,
I could see that. I just found it funny. I actually had to watch it twice. I was like,
SmackDown was a great show. I loved it. I mean, I love the Usos coming out with the new music, with the new...
They're killing it. The heel turn is complete.
Yes, and the one thing that stood out to me the most in that 8-man tag team match, they targeted Chad Gable's leg again.
Beautiful.
Continuity, storytelling. Oh my
psychology.
God. Big thing. Yes, I loved it. SmackDown, the Blue Brand, deserves an A for this week. That was a great show. I freaking loved it. And honestly, I think just SmackDown and NXT are worth watching. And if you
don't watch Raw. Don't do it. I'm not. I'm done. I'm taking a break at least until January, unless they get some A shows under it. Because it's just been mediocrity. I'm sorry. We can go on all day about Monday.
Oh,
I could.
Yes, we could. But we're not here to talk about Monday Night Raw.
No, we're not.
I just want to talk about how awesome SmackDown was. Everything on that show was great, and like you said, Daniel, it leads to something. The wheels turn and turn, and we're going in the right direction. Whereas on Raw, the wheels turn, and we're going all over the place, and Lord knows where we're going to end up. So the Blue Brand, I don't know if Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan have any say in like what happens.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, but still, the SmackDown roster's killing it, and I hope, like you said on Twitter, that Cesaro, Sami Zayn, Neville, and the club go to
put them on there. Like here's the. Can we talk about this real quick? Okay, Neville. When has he been on Raw last? That's a trivia question. Think about it.
Last time he was on any kind of show was the SummerSlam pre-show.
So they're doing nothing with him. If they're not going to put him in the cruiserweights like I advocated for, put him on SmackDown. He could tear it up there. You know he could.
Yes.
Who's another guy? Sammy. Sammy would benefit by being on SmackDown. And Cesaro, the stupid tag team BS. So you're telling me, here we go, I'm going to rant. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
You're telling me we sat through 7, actually there were 2 more. So what? It was like almost 8 matches in a row of this best of 7 series stuff. And just to have them put together as a tag team, and they didn't automatically get a tag title shot. They have to earn their way up. I mean, I just thought it was dumb. I thought it was stupid. Cesaro should have earned a Universal Championship shot, and he should say, screw this crap. I'm going to the Blue show, the Blue brand.
Yes, that's what he should have done, I swear.
Awful. Awful.
Yeah,
and the club, could we are they buried? Because I think they're buried. And I don't like using that term. But what was the point? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can I, just real quick, what was the point of doing the rematch after Clash of Champions if they're just going to lose? What was the point of that? Dumb. Stupid.
Yeah.
That's when I shut Raw off. I was like, okay, I'm watching the debate. This is obviously, I said, I told my friend, if they're not winning the titles, I'm done. I'm done with this show. So I was like,
I'm sorry. We're gonna end it here. I'm like I said, I was so frustrated with the Clash of Champions. I thought that show could have been a solid 7 or an 8 if everything went well, and it felt like freaking Monday Night Raw or
Sunday Night
Raw. Yeah. Yep. So I just said, to hell with Raw. I'm done for this week. I'm not watching Monday with Ashton Kutcher and those guys.
Oh, God, that's going to be bad.
I'm sorry. It's all about SmackDown, NXT, and Lucha Underground, which, Daniel, if you get a chance to catch up on, the season, it's starting to get really good, and we're just like 4 episodes in. So if you're able to catch up on Season 2 and then go into Season 3,
definitely. If I ever get the chance, like I said, it's just so tough with Raw. Well, now that maybe I'm not watching Raw, maybe I could fill that void.
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see.
And I'm going to give a little plug to your channel before we start. Daniel will be doing retro Raw reviews, which I'm excited for because, of course, the Attitude Era had, even if the Raw episodes weren't the best, you still were always watching because the Attitude Era was so unpredictable. And
exactly.
At the time, Undertaker, Rock, Kane, DX, Triple H,
Road Dogg,
of course. Yeah, The Rock. Yeah, Mr. McMahon, Shane McMahon. It was just a great group of talent that were just killing it every week. So make sure to subscribe to Daniel's channel.
And
retro Raw reviews, yes.
It's going to be good stuff. Good reminiscing.
All right, so without any further ado, guys, we've talked about the Blue brand, which deserves a lot of credit and deserves more viewers and ratings. Let's get to the Q&A. So,
here we go.
I'm going to have you start off. Here's my first question to you, and this is one that I'm really excited to ask. It's going to challenge you. Good. If you could lead your own WWE faction with 3 male wrestlers and 1 female wrestler, who would you choose?
This is a good question. This is a faction with 1 female and 3 males. There's a lot of good talent. Really a lot of good talent. Oh, man. This is tough. Because there's so many guys. Like, I'm trying to think. I want somebody that's underutilized. Oh man. See, I have to have Cesaro in there. Just the way he's been mistreated, he would deserve to be in there. Definitely.
Definitely.
This is tough though. Oh man. Because I'd love. Ooh. I wish it was possible. Okay, no, Cesaro, you're out. I love you, but no. For this faction, I'd love to see Roman Reigns as a heel and the Usos as heels. And that heel Samoan dynasty, that would be a killer stable, a killer faction. And you throw, who else? Isn't Naomi? Throw her in there. Boom. That's my faction.
All right. I like that.
Oh, sorry.
Your question, yeah. All right.
Okay. Here we go. What brand would you like to see Samoa Joe drafted to?
Real easy, man. SmackDown, because who cares about Raw? I'm going to take him over on Raw. Now, granted, with Finn Balor, they've done very well with him. Yes, he got injured. He hasn't been, he was only on the Raw brand for like, want to say about a month before he got injured. So I give kudos to those on Raw for doing well with Balor. But honestly, I think SmackDown needs a star power. They need someone like Joe. He'd be perfect. He can kill it, tear it up with guys like Cena, Ambrose, AJ,
Orton, Wyatt,
yes,
Corbin. Remember they had history together. So
yeah,
hey,
Corbin.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you.
Yeah, Samoa Joe deserves to be sporting blue, baby blue, SmackDown blue when he goes to when he gets called to the main roster.
Sure. Okay.
Second question for you, Daniel. What was the very first wrestling show you attended in person, and what do you remember the most about it?
The first show. Oh God. See if I can remember this. That's probably 8 years ago. Oh shit. Give me a minute, because my brain. I'm not the best with remembering.
Go ahead and think. In the meantime, while you're thinking, like I said earlier, guys, if you have any questions, comments, leave them in the chat, and we'll get to them. I'll constantly check, but any other questions we'll get to towards the end. That'll be like the bonus edition of this Q&A.
Oh God, was it a Raw Christmas? I hope it wasn't a Raw Christmas episode, because that freaking sucked.
Are you talking about the one where Santa got hit by Del Rio's car?
No, and I was embarrassed to be. That insulted my intelligence. The one way back. Do you remember Charlie Haas? Didn't he dress up as Santa?
I don't know, because
something stupid. Remember he did all those impersonations and stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's his early. I know I went to a Raw. They were usually bored. I remember seeing Shawn Michaels wrestle. That's the I'm trying to remember the earliest event. It had to have been an episode of Raw. I'm sorry, my memory sucks.
Yeah.
So that's as far back as I go. All right, now we'll move on to the next question here. Here's a good one. Who would you like to see Nakamura feud with next for the NXT Championship after his feud with Joe concludes?
Honestly, with the way that this guy's being built and the momentum he has built since arriving in NXT, and even before when they showed him at Dallas, Bobby Roode. Because I honestly feel like the glorious one is the one to dethrone Nakamura before Shinsuke gets called up to the main roster.
Sure. I could see that happen.
Definitely.
And that would be, you ready for it?
Glorious! Either Bobby Roode, or if they want to do this before Hideo Itami.
Hideo, yes. Would you turn him heel?
Would Hideo work as a heel, though?
Like the silent, brooding assassin. What do you think of that?
I like that. I didn't even think
he'd be jealous. I think he would be jealous. I was the first one signed by, WWE, and now you come in and the story kind of writes itself, Yeah, I think it's there and it can be told.
Okay. So, yeah, to answer your question, I'd really like him to feud with Bobby Roode, but I'd totally be down for a Nakamura-Hideo Itami feud. And they're probably going to wrestle in Osaka for NXT Japan.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff.
All right. Third question for you, Daniel, is what is your favorite game in the Super Smash Brothers series?
Ooh, I'm a Nintendo fan, so this is a fabulous question. This is a glorious question. Continue.
Glorious!
Told you, folks, it never gets old. Well, I've played them. Well, I didn't play the original. So, this is easy. It's Melee. Duh. Super Smash Brothers Melee on the Game freaking Cube, if you guys know what I'm talking about. That was the shit back in the day. I played the holy hell out of that game. I burned through memory cards on that game. I got the cheat codes. I did it all.
Yes.
And that game was the best. I mean, Brawl was good, and the one for Wii U was good. But to me, Melee was just a gift from the gods, the gaming gods. So thank you, Nintendo. One of the best games ever.
Definitely.
And it's my childhood, too. So
hell yeah. Melee. The Smash Brothers games were one of the best crossover series. I mean,
it is. It's like the ultimate Nintendo dream.
Yes. That is the best way to sum it up.
Definitely.
Great.
Okay. So, question number 3. Well, these okay, we could still ask this. Who would you like to see as the face of the Cruiserweight division on Raw? Besides Perkins. I mean, this was written before the whole classic climax and everything.
Yeah, no problem.
Other than him, who could you see being one of the top guys for the Cruiserweight division?
Really? Because, he got such a huge amount of love and support from the crowd following his elimination early on in the tournament. And just because I think he is one hell of an athlete and performer, Cedric Alexander.
Definitely.
Now, here's the thing about Cedric. I also could see him moving on from the cruiserweight division and winning like the U.S. title, or if he goes to SmackDown, the Intercontinental title. I could think he could win titles in multiple divisions. But if the one guy that I think could really carry the cruiserweight division, like I mean, you have Rich Swann and Sawa and Grand Metalik. They're all great cruiserweights. Don't get me wrong, but the one that I think could knock TJ off his perch in the future, and to me, it's a money match at WrestleMania, is Cedric Alexander versus TJ Perkins. So
Sure.
Cedric would be my pick.
I'd like to see that, definitely.
Definitely. Getting through the questions pretty fast.
Yeah,
And
we are.
just in mind, we have 15 questions this time, not 10 like last time. So.
Not the perfect 10. That's okay.
Oh yeah, no, not the perfect 10. So my fourth question for you, Daniel, is what was the last good to great book you read recently?
Really good question. Really good book. Oh, shoot. I've read a lot of good books. Recently, let's see if I can see from my bookshelf from here. Oh, crap. I don't know if I can see the title this far away. Oh, what was it called? Here, let's see if I could. Hold on. I'm going to take the headphones off. I'll be right back. I got to get
Yeah, go ahead. Good.
Okay.
For those watching, like I said, while Daniel goes to grab the book, leave your questions and comments down below in the chat box to the side, and he's back.
Got it. Okay, I got the book. It is called, let me get my headphones back in, JFK and the Unspeakable, Why He Died and Why It Matters. It's about the JFK assassination, the potential conspiracy behind it, and it just really gives an insight depth into the multiple people that could have allegedly been behind his death. So really good book right here. Great
answer. Yeah, as you guys can tell, I'm trying to ask. Like I came up with a mix of wrestling and non-wrestling questions, so I get to know Daniel a little more about other interests outside of wrestling. So great answer, JFK book. What you got?
Good. All right, here's it's a non-wrestling question. What is your favorite current video game?
I'd say, it's a wrestling game, WWE 2K16, just because that game after the lackluster release of 2K15, which was good. No, it was a lackluster game. 2K16 took it to a whole new level with actually, you know what? I love 2K16, but my favorite current game is actually a mobile game, and it's Injustice: Gods Among Us, the mobile version of
okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, that game is addicting. The replay value is very high. I love getting to mix, put together dream teams with likes of like Batman, The Flash, Nightwing, Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, who's a guest character, Superman, Batgirl, the Joker, Doomsday. Just a great roster of characters in this game. Like I said, replay value is high. They come out with new challenge characters to increase your rosters. So I did say 2K16 in the beginning. That is one of my favorite games right now. But to go with a non-wrestling related answer, I would go with Injustice: Gods Among Us on the Android and the iOS, because they're always coming up with new challenges. They just did a Suicide Squad challenge for all three characters: Joker, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, which was awesome. So yeah, I love Injustice.
Awesome. Good answer.
Thank you. Answering a question in the chat. All right, fifth question, Daniel. This is gonna be a funny one. If WWE hired you to bring back one annoying authority figure for the brand split, who would it be out of the following?
Okay.
Jonathan Coachman, Vicky Guerrero, John Laurinaitis, the anonymous Raw general manager, or Mike Adamle?
God. I gotta go with Coach, because he, when you say all those names, he would work. I out of all of them.
Yeah.
I'll go with the Coach.
Do you remember when R-Truth was calling Byron Saxton the Coach?
No. When was it? Was that when they gave R-Truth a push?
That was during the build up for I believe it was for the Intercontinental Championship ladder match at WrestleMania 31.
Oh man, that build. Ooh, that was awful. That whole WrestleMania season sucked.
but then the show itself delivered, which I was
Yes,
so
it did. So it does show that shitty build can equate to a good show, but I'd rather have both.
that was the build where R-Truth had a toy belt in a bag, remember? And he
Yeah, it's like, I have the Intercontinental title. No, I have the Intercontinental title. Let's play hot frickin' potato. I'm sorry, that's what it reminded me of.
yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. Next question. What is your favorite current band that you like to listen to?
Band. I feel like you might have asked me this one before.
Sure.
But to answer, band.
I think I did ask you this.
Yeah, I think you did.
How about favorite current song? Just a song, like the one you just.
Complicated by Demi Lovato, because it always reminds me of the build up to the WrestleMania 32 Women's Championship Triple Threat. Because that was the video that was the song that was used in the video.
Cool.
Yeah, that song and a song called Mad World by I forgot the first guy's name, but the other guy is Gary Jules. So really good song, man. Like, so those are my two favorite songs right now. Complicated by Demi Lovato and Mad World by, I'll just say Gary Jules, because he's one of the singers on the song, but I can't remember the other one.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Cool. All right. My sixth question for you, Daniel. If you introduced a non-wrestling fan to the CWC, what three matches other than Kota Ibushi versus Cedric Alexander and Kota Ibushi versus TJ Perkins would you show them?
Okay, three matches. I got Gargano versus Ciampa. Very good match. Very good match. Oh, let's see what else. What were some of these matchups? I'm trying to dig deep. It was the British guy. Crap. Sabre Jr. versus who did he face? Noam Dar. That was a really good match. And one more. Crap. There's a lot of good stuff. Oh, Gargano versus Perkins. That was a really good match as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Three really good matches. Yeah, I thought you were going to say Zack Sabre Jr. versus Grand Metalik. I thought that was a great match between Lucha and Technical Wizardry.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was.
That would be another one of my choices as well if I had a fourth one.
Yeah,
those are just off the top of my head that I could think.
Oh yeah, no, of course. I'm just saying, like, what three would you show them? And you know what? Just like talking about the cruiserweights real quick. I don't know if it was you who said this or somebody else, but not every cruiserweight match has to have high flying. Like, don't get me wrong, that's what made the cruiserweights. That's what made them stand out, and that's what they'll always be recognized for. But when you have guys like Zack Sabre Jr., cruiserweights don't always have to do high flying moves. Like,
exactly.
Think about Dean Malenko. He never was a high flyer, and he was one of the best cruiserweights with his technical prowess in there. So I would love to see some technical wrestling match. I would love to see some cruiserweight matches with technical style. That'd be interesting to see. Like, TJP versus ZSJ. That'd be insane. That'd be a chess match, in my opinion. Perkins and Sabre.
Ooh, see, it would be something different. I think different is if everybody's the same, then it all just blends together. But if everybody has their own little differences, it creates a division that stands out, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I believe your sixth question for me, Daniel.
Yes. Would you like to see Finn Balor win the 2017 Royal Rumble?
If he can pull a John Cena from 2008, then I'd be all for it. I'm sure I would love to see Balor win the Royal Rumble. I'm sure people would not have a problem with him winning the Royal Rumble after the past. After 2014 and 15 had very unfavorable winners. You know what I mean? Very unpopular winners.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have no problem with Balor winning the Royal Rumble. What a great way that would be for him to reestablish himself after his injury. He comes back number 30, wins the Rumble, and he goes to the main event of WrestleMania to face whoever the Universal Champion is. So, yeah, I would be totally down for Finn Balor to win the Royal Rumble. And I'm trying to make the trip down to LA to be there live for the Rumble. So if he's there, he wins it, and I'm there live, wow, what a moment.
That would be great.
Definitely.
Oh, man.
Definitely. All right, my seventh question for you, Daniel. And You might have touched on this earlier. Favorite book to read on a rainy day?
Hmm. Man, that's a good one. Hmm. 'Cause there's a lot of good books out there that I've read.
Yeah.
One that I just like to sit down and read. I have to think about this one. Hmm. It's tough. This one's tough. You might have stumped me. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. I might have to come back. I don't know. I'm trying to be on a rainy day. Uh, you know what? I'll just, off the top of my head, I'll go with Jurassic Park.
The
Freaking
original Jurassic Park, yeah. That's
amazing book, which
yeah.
I argue it's the movie's one of my favorite of all time, but the book I thought was even better. It went more into depth. It was certainly gorier. There was a lot more death and blood and guts, and I just love all that stuff.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs eating people. That's my childhood. So I'll go with Jurassic. Amazing book. If you haven't read it, it's just as good, if not better, than the movie.
Yeah. You figure they had to cut out the blood, a few
They
parts,
did.
blood and gore, to make it PG-13, because that was the whole idea, target the summer audience. But I'd like to see an R-rated Jurassic Park if they ever could do that. That'd be great.
Well, when's the new? 2018. I'm looking for. I liked World. I really thought Jurassic World was.
World was great.
Do you
World
like
was
it?
very fun and very nostalgic.
Are you a franchise fan? Because I could talk about this a little bit. Like I actually liked the first two. I hated the third one. I thought the third one. I saw it as a kid. I was all hyped. I was like, "Ooh, the new Jurassic Park," and I was like, "This sucks." The third one was awful.
Yeah. I've never. Okay. Kind of gonna be a little bit of a shocker, but I've never seen the first one in its entirety.
Oh my god, what are you doing right now? Why are you talking to me?
Bits and pieces of it, but I know how iconic it is in the film.
Yes, it is.
I did see The Lost World as a kid on a field trip of all things. We were on the bus watching it because we had those really nice buses with the video screens and everything. That was a good one. 3 was not as good. 3 was like the stinker, and then Jurassic World.
I thought it was really good.
Jurassic World was great. I loved it because it showed us what the park would look like.
Yes.
Real. That's what we wanted to see for such a long time. What if the Jurassic Park, what if Jurassic World became a real park? And that film was great. It was very nostalgic. I felt like I was at
Chris Pratt. Oh, he's one of my favorite. Guardians, he was awesome. I thought he was awesome in Jurassic World.
Yes.
He's a very good actor.
Chris Pratt is great. He's quickly established himself as one of the new leading men in Hollywood. And just like I was saying, I felt like I was at Universal Studios watching Jurassic World, just with the park and everything was great. I loved it. I can't wait for Jurassic World 2. Chris Pratt has to return. He's awesome. That film was one of my favorites of last year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thank you. All right. Now it's your turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are we? Okay. Favorite. This is a non-wrestling related question. What's your favorite food and drink combo?
Okay, you got me here. I know I have, but I'm trying to think what is my favorite.
It's easy, but it's also a very difficult question.
Yeah, definitely.
So many choices.
I know, right? Okay. I got you.
Okay.
Any kind of burger or sandwich from Red Robin plus a cookie magic milkshake. There you go.
Red Robin. Oh, it's that seasoning. The burger. Yeah. They give you a lot of meat in that. Oh man, it's freaking awesome.
Red Robin's good. Whether it's a chicken sandwich or a burger, that plus a milkshake is the bomb. Yeah.
Making me hungry now.
All right. Question 8 for you, Daniel.
Okay.
If you could be a guest on Up, Up, Down, Down and play with any wrestler of your choice, who would it be and what game would you play?
Oh, that's a really good question. Any wrestler. It'd have to be Bayley. She's just awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to play with Bailey. A video game. um, oh man, that'd be awesome. And any would you say game?
Any game. What game would you play with Bailey?
Oh shit. That's a good question. What are they usually? I catch some of their videos. I haven't really.
Yeah, they've played like a bunch of different videos, man. So
what was the thing with her and Sasha? They were like duking it out.
Mortal Kombat X.
I'll play Mortal Kombat. She'll probably kick my ass, but you know what?
Actually, Bailey lost, man.
Bailey lost. Oh my god. Okay, that's what it is. I play with Bailey, Mortal Kombat.
All right, I'm checking the chat box real quick. I want to send a shout out to everybody who's left comments, specifically TN Couponer and John McDermott. John said that his favorite food and drink combo is KFC and a soda. Can't go wrong with KFC. And he said he'd play with AJ Lee if he could be on Up Up Down Down. So nice answers. That's really cool.
Cool.
And TN Couponer is back. Good to see him back as well. Been a good friend of mine for a while. All right, your turn, Daniel.
Okay. Here's an interesting question. Do you ever see Daniel Bryan returning to the ring to wrestle at least maybe just one more match at the bare minimum?
I don't know. I don't know because it's really based on the whole reason he retired was because of his doctor's opinions, the medical records and everything. Because I would hate for him to take one bad bump on his neck and be severely injured. So I don't want to say yes and I don't want to say no. I just want to say maybe because I'd love to see him wrestle against The Miz to keep going. But if he takes one bad move on his neck, I'm really afraid it would hurt. It would severely damage his nerves or anything. So I'm just going to maybe, not a yes, not a no, but maybe, only because who knows? I mean,
yeah, you're right.
Health and wealth comes first. So.
Oh, absolutely. It's just the way they've been building this up. It just makes you wonder. I'm like, they're doing all this. Yeah, Miz and Bryan. I'm like, come on, you're kind of teasing me a little bit too much here. Yeah. You know? Yeah. It's like, what's all this for? So, okay.
Okay. Question 9, Daniel, is do you think WWE should turn Big E heel once the New Day splits up?
You know what? People were saying that. I think it could work. I think New Day is kind of getting a little stale at this point. I think if they would have dropped the titles, that would have helped. In that category. But in the long run, when they do split up, I could see Big E going on a monster heel run. I could see it working. He's definitely come a long way on the mic from when he was first the heel. So I'd like to see it. Sure.
Yeah. Let me ask you a follow up to that.
Sure.
This is on my list, but it's just a follow up. Are you concerned at all that when New Day splits up, WWE's not gonna have any direction for them?
That could be the case, although they're all freaking talented, especially Kofi, man. I'm happy the New Day worked out for him because before that, he was just getting thrown into shit left and right. Yeah. I'd be worried. They're on Raw, so I'd be worried because of that.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. When they split up, if Kofi goes to SmackDown, he'll do fine. He'd be a workhorse veteran. I think he would do well with guys like AJ and Orton and Wyatt and hopefully Samoa Joe. Big E, hell, if I could have it my way, I'd send all 3 members of the New Day. Once they split, I'd send them all to SmackDown where they'd be in good hands.
Get them off Raw. Seriously.
Yeah, seriously. That's the thing I hate. Last thing I'm going to say about Raw for now is I hate that a lot of my favorite talents are on that show. And
you don't want to watch
proper build or treatment, and that's the only way we can see him is if we freaking watch Raw. Well, make Raw great again, like Daniel asked in his
Please. Video. Do we need to bring Donald Trump on to make it great again? Seriously.
No. You know what I was going to say, and I was going to joke around with this? Give Raw to Mr. Bob Backlund.
Oh, you want to hear something funny? I made this joke today, and see what you think of this. So Vince was probably thinking, Donald, I got a great idea. We got to get these Raw ratings up. Bring the debate to Monday Night Raw.
They would shit on that debate. You know that, right?
I'm telling you. Vince is probably, hey, Donald, can you do me a favor? You and Hillary, come on Raw. We'll do the debate live. for 3 hours.
Yeah. No. No.
No, I wouldn't
on that. Do you remember in 2008 when to get like people to vote for when that election when Obama became president? They had like
yeah, they did. They actually
just like Hillary Clinton. Some guy come out just like Barack Obama with the big ears, and then they wrestled.
That was awful. Vince probably really got off on that. He liked stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember I was taking American politics class around that in college in that year, and I was thinking the only reason they did that is because there's young people on WWE, and there's young people that watch WWE, so this is like their best way to try and encourage them to vote, but still, like, do we really want to watch Barack Obama?
Some fake loser, 2 losers wrestling one. Nah, that's just come on.
And then I remember freaking was it John McCain who said I'm gonna send Osama bin Laden to the Undertaker or something, or I'm gonna feed him to the Undertaker.
They all have like Rock said I'm gonna lay off the SmackDown. Hillary, I remember they didn't do that for the last couple of years, so maybe that was a one-time only thing.
Yeah. No.
Oh man, so good stuff.
Yeah. Getting back to our Q&A, Daniel, what's your 9th question for me?
Where are we at? 9th. Oh, this is an interesting one. And I'm going to ask this in Stone Cold's voice, considering the subject matter. What is your favorite beer to drink?
I'm actually straight edge, so I don't drink
Awesome.
beer.
Okay, easy question.
Yeah.
CM Punk approves.
Yes, CM Punk approves. I hope you're doing well, Punk.
Yes.
You're still a favorite of ours. I know that was.
We love you.
Yeah, we love you. That was hard for you just getting your like that, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Number 10 on my list. 10th question for you, Daniel. Based on the popularity of the hashtag Glorious Bombs, would you like to see Bobby Roode team up with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano in NXT one day?
Well, I was going to say we just saw him team up with the Perfect 10, and that's going to be freaking awesome. Sure, one day down the line, I think that would be great, seeing as what they were doing on social media.
Yes.
But I can't wait for, what are they calling it? I call it Glorious 10.
You can call it Glorious 10, Perfectly Glorious,
Perfectly Glorious. I love it. I love that. Perfectly Glorious. That just rolls, you know?
I don't know what to call them yet, man, because all those nicknames are great. I mean, last night on NXT, when the crowd was chanting Glorious 10, I was like, damn, you guys came up with that shit hella fast.
That was great. This classic is going to be amazing.
Well, a little bit of breaking news. I don't know if you saw this, Daniel, but
this needs to be said. I think I know what it is, but go ahead.
It was announced on social media that one of the teams in the Dusty Rhodes Classic this year will be Hideo Itami and Kota Ibushi.
Wow.
That is freaking huge.
Wow.
That is going to be freaking crazy. And the other team that was just announced today is the man, Tino Sabatelli and Andrew Moss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who are they? I've never heard. I don't mean to be.
Tino was on Breaking Ground.
Oh.
One dude on Breaking Ground who took from Apollo Crews the wrong way. He took the drop kick the wrong way and got a scolding from Matt Bloom. Moss is I heard he's a good recruit they got for the Performance Center, so we'll see how those guys do. But Ibushi and Itami, you got to believe they're favorites along with the Revival and
Gargano Ciampa.
Yes, and the Glorious 10 or the Perfect or Perfectly Glorious, whatever you want to call them.
You got Authors of Pain will probably be in there.
Yeah, that's what I interpreted by John or Paul Ellerin's.
Yes. Okay. I didn't even think of that. Wow, that went right over my head.
Tournament, and whoever goes up against them in the tournament, you better pray to God that plethora you're not the victim of that plethora of pain. You better pray to God you can find a way to survive.
And we got Alexander and Almas.
Yes,
they're also a team. So we'll see what happens.
I don't think they're gonna. Well, I don't want to say I don't think they're gonna make it past the Revival, but you never know. Maybe the Revival might lose in an upset, or Gargano and Ciampa might have something to do with it. I don't know. That's what
we might see a little turn. Just a little something, maybe a little heel. We'll see.
That's what's great about NXT.
You don't know what's going to happen.
You still never know. Yeah, that's what I love. So
I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
I'm happy they're doing the tournament again. And this time, I want a young team or even the Revival to win it. So
sure.
Yeah, I could do. I personally, before we get on to the next question, I personally want to see Rude and Dillinger winning.
Sure, that'd be great.
Notch under both of their belts, especially Ty Dillinger. If you want to really build them up, because here's the thing, they don't have a mid-card title. They just have the titles, the women's title and NXT title. I'm not saying they need to make an NXT Intercontinental title, but maybe they could do some kind of title that's all about future stars. Not necessarily a future stars title, but maybe the NXT. Man, see, that's the thing. I can't think of a title right now off the top of my head. But maybe the NXT Breakout Star Championship or the NXT Breakthrough Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. We can come up with a name another time, but that was just something I was thinking about.
Sure.
All right, so I believe it's your question now, right?
All right. Here we go. This is an interesting one. In your opinion, what do you think of these matches for WrestleMania 33?
All right.
Balor versus Owens, Universal title.
Mm-hmm.
Cena versus Taker, Taker's last match. Triple H versus Seth Rollins. The Rock versus a heel Roman Reigns. Banks versus Bayley for the Raw Women's title. And Lesnar versus Joe.
Right there, you have a stacked WrestleMania card.
Boom.
Right there.
Boom.
Right there.
It's done. There you go.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this real quick. What about the SmackDown Women's title?
This was just I was thinking about that. This was just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Down the line. I don't know if they'd call Asuka, because I'd love to see Asuka come to SmackDown. You do Asuka versus Becky Lynch.
Yes.
Ooh. Or you could do Asuka versus, what do you think about Nikki Bella? I think that would be a good match.
That'd be interesting. Asuka versus Becky, Asuka versus Nikki. Be interesting. But the matches you just named, they're huge. That would sell WrestleMania 33 in a big way. I mean, all those matches are great, and they all have meaning. You know, Owens. Balor wants what Owens won because he vacated due to injury.
It's simple. The shit writes itself.
Yes.
You know?
Brock and Samoa Joe, two monsters clashing for
Brock's the beast. Joe wants to take him off his perch. Boom.
Joe's the destroyer. Joe is the destroyer, the emperor of strong style. Brock's the beast incarnate. That's perfect. Cena and Taker. The one WrestleMania match we haven't gotten in Taker's career, it's Icon versus Icon. It's C Nation versus a 20+ reign of destruction. The matches write themselves for that WrestleMania card. That's a great card right there, man.
Thank you.
I'd pay for that. I would pay for that.
Oh, yeah, I would too. Definitely.
Yeah. All right. So, question 11 for you, Daniel. What were your 3 favorite games to play on N64?
Well, I never had an N64, but I played it on the virtual console. So, Mario 64. How many did you say again?
What were your 3 favorites?
3. Okay, good. 3. Mario 64. Mario Kart. That was another 64 really good game.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'll go with No Mercy. That game was freaking, from what I've played, it's really, really good. I can see why it's considered the best.
That's one of the greatest games of all time. And for wrestling, your gameplay videos were a lot of fun when you did those not so long ago with the commentary.
Oh, I love doing commentary.
Yeah, those are fun.
That's
all
fun
3
shit.
games are N64 classics. Can't go wrong with them.
Sure. Okay, next question here. This is an interesting one. What do you think of the rumored Shane versus Brock Lesnar match?
Okay, from a storyline perspective, it makes sense because Brock was the one that laid out Shane McMahon at SummerSlam, and then, Stephanie fined Brock $500, and I forgot who said that. I think the Lex Man said this. Brock wipes his ass with $500.
I love that's a great quote.
I think the Lex Man said that. I mean, as a fan of Shane McMahon, that'd be cool to see because he'd have to go all out, balls to the wall to freaking stop Brock Lesnar. Here's the thing. When would they do it? Survivor Series? Royal
Rumble. I would think Rumble.
Yeah.
Because I would not want to see that match at Mania. If you're gonna do it, I don't really want to see it. Period. That's just me.
Yeah.
Because I think realistically, Shane would just get his ass kicked. I love you, Shane, but really, no.
Yeah.
I want to see Brock in there with a guy like Cesaro or
Yes.
Styles
Yeah.
or Balor.
What they could make it like. What they could do is they could make it to where Shane is getting dominated for a while, and then he just starts like really, like he starts pulling out all the stops, including the kitchen sink, and you think he's gonna actually beat Brock, and then he makes one mistake like at Hell in a Cell, and Brock just capitalizes from there and finishes him. But the thing is, if they do it at the Rumble, and Brock really kicks the shit out of Shane, to where Shane is just to where he just is relentless, to where he may assault Shane post match, that could lead to Shane calling up Samoa Joe to battle Brock at Mania. So if Joe if he doesn't get called up by the end of the year, and say they have like one more little program for him on NXT, like a Swan Song, and then they do the Brock Shane match at Rumble, and Brock just completely destroys Shane and just insults his credibility and everything, his integrity, and Shane is just like, you know what, I'm not getting, I'm not cleared for this or anything, but I have someone, I'm going to bring someone that will take the fight to you, and he brings out Samoa Joe, then it will lead to something even bigger. So
if that would be the plan, then I'd be okay with Shane versus Brock, because it would tell a long-term story, and it would have an end game at WrestleMania. So I'd be okay with that. If it's just for like a one-off and it has no real purpose or story, no, I wouldn't want to see it.
Yeah. So like I said, storyline wise, it makes sense because of what Brock did at SummerSlam, and it was not even a fine. $500 is nothing compared to Brock Lesnar. No. So yeah. So if it, storyline wise, it makes sense because it's not just like blowing that off and saying, Shane took an F5. He's not going to do anything. Although I have no problem with them not mentioning it because I'm more focused on the other things SmackDown's doing. But if it happens, like you said, it should happen with a purpose. If it's to set up Brock versus Joe or Brock versus Nakamura, then yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Definitely. All right. We're on to the next question. This is a really good one. This one will get you to. This might stump you, but let's see what you got. Buy or sell NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 1 or Brooklyn 2? You can only pick one. Which one are you buying on?
I'm buying Brooklyn 1 because Brooklyn 1 was just an incredible and magical night for NXT.
Definitely. I agree. I'm in agreement.
NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2, don't get me wrong, was a good show.
Yeah, it was.
I loved the main event. I thought Asuka and Bayley was a very good rematch, but I was disappointed because I really thought if they had more time, it could have been one of the most compelling matches of the night, of the year, and in the women's division, because Bayley had so much to prove. She had so much on the line. And Asuka was looking just to dethrone her, to just slay her once again and prove you can't beat me, girl. So Ember Moon's debut was fun. The tag team match was great. That show was good. And it was better than SummerSlam, that's for damn sure. But Brooklyn 1, you will never, unless you do a 5-star card, you'll never top that first Brooklyn show. That was just magic, pure magic.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Still get chills.
Yeah. All right, what question was that you just asked me? Was that your 12th or 11th?
12th.
Okay, so let me give you my 12th.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't get a chance to ask it before. I know you don't do movies that much, but what was the last good to great movie you saw either at home or in the theaters?
Well, you mean recently, the last one I recently just, or could it be from a while? Well, I got one recently.
The most recent film, good to great film you saw that you really enjoyed.
I don't know if you've seen this, Don't Breathe.
Never heard of it.
Okay, let me give you the premise. It's very interesting. And I'm not a big horror movie guy. I wasn't really keen on seeing it, but I heard it got good reviews. Here's the premise. There's these 3 robbers. They break into houses, they steal, they rob, what have you. one night they go into this abandoned part of Detroit, and they want to rob this house. The guy is blind, and they want to rob this blind guy's house, but he's also an Army veteran.
Yeah.
And they go in and they try and rob this guy's house, and they get the ever-loving shit beat out of them. It gets
What? I'm sorry. What were you gonna say, Daniel? I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's right. They get the it's blood and just I love the way, like, this guy can't see them, but his hearing's increased, his smells increase, and you have to, like, the guy's like, whoa, he's right in front of me, and you just have to be. It scared the shit out of me when this veteran would pop up, and I'm not a horror movie guy, but I really thought it was unique. It was something different, and it was really twisted and messed up. I don't want to spoil anything, but it was kind of fucked up towards the end. So good stuff, and just really good movie. Check it out.
You know, I thought you said don't blink, and I was like,
oh no, don't breathe.
Don't breathe. I know which one it is. Yeah, when you started talking about it, I was like, oh, he meant don't. He said don't breathe. I know. Yeah, that one looked a little like crazy. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It gets. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it'll make you. It's like, whoa, what are we doing here? This is sick.
I might watch it. I might watch it when it comes out on Redbox or whatever. But yeah,
check it out.
Yeah. All right. So, Daniel, let's go. Let's continue.
Okay.
What's your 13th question for me?
How much longer do you see John Cena wrestling full time? Because I know he's starting to transition now, but
okay. You were talking about I started watching the latest edition of the Giza Wrestling Report you did when I was with him. I haven't finished it. I'll finish it later. And you guys you and BSP were talking about Cena, right? He's gonna go part-time soon. I don't really see him wrestling full-time much longer. If he has all these other obligations, he's doing movies, he's hosting award shows, he's on date talk and nighttime talk shows. So I don't see him being full-time much longer. I see him ultimately making that transition to a part-timer. So
sure.
Yeah. I don't see him being I can't give an exact number of months I think he'll be full-time, but I don't see him being a full-timer much longer. Yeah. I think maybe after WrestleMania he becomes a part-timer for sure.
I could see that, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to my 13th question for you, Daniel. Would you like to see WWE do a War Games match in the future?
Hell yeah, I'd love the freaking Survivor Series would be awesome. What do you think about who pitched this idea? I don't want to say that I took it from them, but somebody out there pitched the idea of you do maybe the Shield versus the Club in a War Games match at Survivor Series. Holy crap. Yeah,
that'd be awesome, but here's the thing. The Shield would have had to have they all would have had to have been on the same brand, or you could have done it interpromotional. One trio on one brand and the other trio on the other brand. I'd be fine with that. That'd be crazy. And we were talking, my friends were talking about Shield versus the Club months before Gallows and Anderson even got to the main roster. You know what I'm saying? Shortly after AJ debuted, we were talking about that. I'd totally be down for the Shield versus the Club if they're on separate brands to make it interpromotional, and the Club is rebuilt properly.
You have to at this point. They're losers. God.
Gallows and Anderson, unfortunately.
They don't deserve. I'm sorry. I should make a video on that. They don't deserve to be treated like a bunch of bumbling goofs.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's amazing the polar. AJ's killing it, and the Club. It's been downhill since the draft.
Yeah. AJ's killing us SmackDown, but like I said in my review, Gallows and Anderson have gotten the short end of the stick. And, I mean, it's I thought about the Usos, how they're doing the whole target the leg thing on their opponents. If Gallows and Anderson kept doing the ring post, not the gimmick, but if they kept doing ring post eyes to their opponents and just assaulting them, laying them out,
but in a serious manner.
Yeah.
Not this doctor's joke bullshit. That's where...
The doctor gimmick I liked in the beginning because I thought it was funny. I thought it was different. I just like seeing them make fun of the fact that they squashed Biggie's nuts against the ring post. Excuse me. But after a while, they were doing the old fart, that was dumb.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
The 5-minute 37-minute sketch that was just a waste of time, and New Day apologized for us losing those 5 minutes and 37 seconds with, it's an old day. Yes, it is.
That never happened. I forgot about it. It was so awful. It never happened. Oh God.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my question. War games, and I'd be down personally to see the Shield versus the Bullet Club if the club is rebuilt properly. I mean, it's got to rebuild the Gallows and Anderson.
That's it. That's all you have to do, and you're in luck. You're in business.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's a nice segue question. Do you think Raw will ever improve from the current state that it's in?
Not if it doesn't take a good hard look at its current product and the ratings and realize that we need to give the fans a better product. So if they're gonna keep giving us these C&D shows,
Ugh.
I don't think they're gonna change. The only think they're gonna change is if SmackDown really buries them in the ratings.
They need to, and they haven't yet. It's surprising me. That surprised me. I thought by now they would have beat Raw in the ratings, but it's just like, I think the stigma's out there. People think SmackDown is the B show, and they're conditioned to think Raw is the A show, you know?
Yeah, no. It's SmackDown is the A show, and Raw is that other show. I'll put it to you that way, because you were saying something about, well, it's a flagship show. Well, this ship keeps sinking and sinking.
I did. The ship is sinking, and does anybody else notice that in Titan Towers? Apparently not.
I don't know why they're stubborn. If Paul Heyman takes Raw and he gives us the great material he gave us when he was writing SmackDown back in 2003,
Can you imagine?
2004, then Raw's gonna see a serious change in its product, a big change. So
it doesn't feel new. The only episode that truly felt new was
where you're going to. Yes,
was the one that I was at. And why did that episode work? Let's see. It built Finn Balor up as a main eventer. I'll say it. They built him up as a main eventer on one night. It established the club gunning for the New Day's titles. Neville returned. Freaking what else happened? You had the 2 fatal 4-way matches. You had Sasha winning the women's championship. And then it's just like, ever since then, since that awful episode with the cake and Roman, that was a shit episode. It's just been downhill. And it hasn't been good since then.
Yeah.
2 months.
Daniel, I love that you always bring up the July 25th episode of Raw from Pittsburgh that you were in.
I'll never stop. I'll keep bringing that up. When people say, oh, it sucks now, I'm like, no, it's not. 3 hours, it could be good. Because they proved it to me. You need to be
like Paul Heyman when he reminded people of Brock breaking the streak. That's exactly.
I'll always do it. Be like, you know something, that July 25th episode of Raw.
Yes, you need to be the advocate for Monday Night Raw to make Raw great again.
We're going to make. I can't even do the voice right now. Yes, we do need to make Raw great
again.
Vince, if you're out there, if you would, he's not listening, but because he doesn't listen to his audience.
You know what? If I was writing Raw, I'd have Darren Young turn on Mr. Bob Backlund, and then I'd have him and Titus make themselves great again by just.
Where have they been? You notice that they haven't been on Raw in a while. It's like, oh, they were having the same match over.
That's what happens. Raw got the extra advantage with the draft picks, but now look at this. I mean,
what happened?
Some people on Raw need to go to SmackDown. We've already said who needs to go to SmackDown.
We do.
Hell, you want to put Darren Young on SmackDown? Make him a good mid-card star. Maybe give him another shot at the Miz for the IC title. I'd be all for it as long as they're getting opportunities and they're being built right. Because I've never had a problem with Darren Young. I thought he was rated. And Titus O'Neil, he's underrated, but they've never really given him, other than when he was a heel on NXT and he did.
You know what they give him? They give him scripted promos to read.
Oh God! Remember when he botched one of his promos so bad?
The motivational speaker guy. It's just like awful, truly awful. And Mick Foley's botching. Why does he need a script? Has anybody ever brought why does Mick Foley, a legend who could go out there and speak from his mind, it's so bad?
Yeah.
It's him and Stephanie and the freaking who's in charge and I'm in charge and Stephanie's a bitch and so I'm sick of her. Get her off my TV. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Thank God I don't have to watch her anymore. She's just a atrocious at this point.
All right.
I could go on. That's just how I feel about Raw.
No problem. All right.
Okay.
Moving on to our final 2 questions each. My 14th question for you, Daniel, is which WWE Hall of Famers or legends would you like to see make a special appearance in the 2017 Royal Rumble match?
Good question. Well, Hall of Famer wise, who we got out there that could still go at least? Wouldn't embarrass themselves. Let me tell you something, brother.
No
think Hawkins? Oh, I don't know. He's so.
If Hogan, if WWE forgave Hulk Hogan and wanted to bring him back just to have him in the match for like 5 seconds, I totally have that. But who would you want to see, Daniel? Because I'm just saying you brought him up.
Me? Okay. I gotta think about it. This is a good one. Really got to think about this one. It might be in LA, so I'm trying to think who's from there. Sting, but he's done. That would be great to see him in the Rumble.
Yeah.
But with the neck, well, he did say maybe in that JBL interview. Maybe, but I think he's done. But it'd be great if I could see him one more time.
Yeah.
Who else? I'm trying to think who else out there could still kind of go. We already saw Foley. Undertaker, but he's not a Hall of Famer yet. So
I'm talking about like legends or Hall.
You mean like realistically, or just like?
I mean, if you could have any Hall of Famer or legend make an appearance in the Royal Rumble match, I mean, even if they just go 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Oh well, I'd love to see freaking Stone Cold Steve Austin go in there and open up a can of whoop ass.
That'd be great.
Definitely. Who else? Sorry, I'm stumping here. I don't know. I'm just.
I hear you, man. It's not
trying to think, and nothing's.
Yeah.
Goldberg. Well, Goldberg ain't a Hall of Famer yet. He will be though one day.
He's not a Hall of Famer. He's somewhat of a legend. Goldberg, I could see. I mean, he's the pre-order bonus for 2K17.
Sure.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up.
Yeah, I can't really. I just can't really. The Rock, but The Rock, it's definitely a Hall of Famer. Oh man, that'd be awesome to see Rock in the Rumble. When's the last time he's been in a Rumble? 02?
Yeah. No.
Wow.
01. 02, he was in the Undisputed title match.
Oh, well, that was a really good match with him and Jericho. I love that match. Damn. So yeah, Rock, Goldberg, Hogan, Stone Cold. Definitely.
I like those.
Okay. All right, my last question. A little bit of a interesting one here. Who will you be voting for President of the United States of America?
Well,
I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm not voting for Trump. I don't agree with some of the discriminate racist things he said, being I'm Latino myself. Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, based on the strength of what she said so far in the debate, because I feel like she was better prepared with her answers and she really meant it, I'll vote for Hillary Clinton because I just can't imagine living in the United States with Donald Trump as president. I'm so scared for my relatives and everything. And
sure.
For those Latinos out there in the United States. So, for now, I'm voting for Hillary Clinton because I just want her to make America. Well, okay, I just want her to make America. I mean, how do I say it? I just want her to be a great president and come through, follow through on what she said, better jobs, education, all that stuff. And yeah, just do not let Donald Trump anywhere near that White House.
Yeah, that would be. It's going to be an interesting election. I really think it's going to be close, and that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
We will see. Yeah, we'll see. All right. And finally, Daniel, my 15th and final question to ask you, and this one's going to be a good one.
Here we go.
If you could call commentary in WWE alongside Mauro Ranallo call commentary with the WWE as part of a 3-man team. I already know you'd want to be next to Mauro Ranallo. Who else would you like to call commentary with? Daniel Bryan or Corey Graves. So picture it. You, Morrow, and either me or Corey Graves. Who would you pick?
It's kind of obvious because, where am I from? I'm from Pittsburgh, PA. And where's my boy Corey Graves from?
Pittsburgh,
PA. So we're both Pens fans. We're both Yinzers. It's going to be me and Corey. We're going to be the Steel City, whatever connection. I don't know, whatever you can come up with.
Hell yeah.
That'd be all. I'd love to meet Corey Graves. Seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy. I would have met him. Where was I at Access last year? I remember he was doing the WrestleMania Access like preview shows with Michael Cole and Booker T.
Really?
And I remember they were filming somewhere off in the corner of the San Jose Convention Center. I actually think I walked by it.
Really?
Next to the NXT area, where I don't understand why I didn't go to the NXT section and meet Sasha Banks, but I just was all over the place the first night of Access. But yeah, if I could have met him, if I can meet him, I'll tell him how awesome he is as a commentator. He's great.
Definitely. One of the best.
I saw him wrestle on NXT, and it's unfortunate he had to retire, but I think him getting the chance to do commentary was a blessing.
Hell yeah.
Did you see him mark out yesterday for Bobby Roode?
Yes, that was glorious.
Glorious.
Tell you, it never gets old.
Yeah, all right. So, right now, I'm going to look at the chat box. I'm going to see any questions or comments any questions that were asked or comments that stand out to me. So, give me a minute.
Sure.
Cesaro needs SmackDown. Yes, I totally agree, Gio. Cesaro does need SmackDown. TN Couponer asks, which title reign was better, Demolition or New Day? Well, here's the thing. I didn't grow up watching Demolition.
Yeah.
So, for the sake of answering your question, since I technically have to give you an answer, I'll go with New Day. But I know Demolition was a great tag team. The only thing is, will they ever go into the Hall of Fame with one of the members being part of that lawsuit over the concussions? TN Couponer says Zayn could beat Miz for the IC title and Styles versus Cesaro in a best-of-5 series.
Wow.
That would be insane. Insane, too.
Insane. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. No, I would love that. And then Styles and the club reunite and dominate SmackDown. Yes, Josh, I would love to see that. I would love for the club to just reunite and dominate SmackDown. I was actually thinking – actually, I want to ask you this right now, Daniel. I'm loving the Usos as heels. They're killing it right now. But I had this idea. I just want to throw something out at you. If the Usos failed to annex Beauty and the Man Beast of the championships, if the club came to SmackDown and they whipped the hell out of every team on that roster and they destroyed Slater and Rhino, well, it's not. Yeah, could you see that happening? I mean, I want the Usos to win at No Mercy, and they should win. But let's just say, fantasy booking-wise, if the club got drafted to SmackDown,
yeah,
you could see them knocking out or demolishing Rhino and Slater.
I could see that because that's the way you'd have to rebuild them.
Yeah.
It only makes sense.
And then the club pretty much runs SmackDown.
Sure.
And what if they get Alexa Bliss and she wins the title from Becky? Just saying, fantasy booking-wise.
Yeah, I think she would be a good fit.
Yeah.
Man, because she was good. She made Blake and Murphy.
Yeah.
So, it would just only add on to – I'd love to see that. That's a good idea.
All right. Okay, John McDermott asked a question. Do you like the song Closer by the Chainsmokers? I haven't heard it. Have you heard that song before, Daniel?
Nope.
Okay, so maybe we will check it out, John, and tell you what we think in a future video. You answered this question already in the chat. Who do we name as Wrestler of the Year? AJ Styles, no doubt.
He's the man.
Yes, he's phenomenal. He's the man that would tell you the sky's green and you'd believe him.
Yes.
Daniel, you answered this question. Name some of your favorite artists in music. I like Bone Thugs and Harmony. I like Usher. I like Avril Lavigne. I like a ton of people. I'd be here all day listening to them, so I'm just gonna name
21 Pilots, amazing, freaking amazing.
I like Metallica's older work.
Metallica's new album coming out in 2 months. People, check it out. It's gonna be good stuff.
Let's see. I do not like any of Justin Bieber's song. The only Justin Bieber song I ever liked was the one he did with Will Smith's son Jaden for the Karate Kid remake in 2010. That was it.
He just seems like an asshole. Which one?
Yeah.
There's somebody I would want to punch in the face. It'd be him.
Yeah. Ian Couponer says Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar, the ultimate underdog versus the bully of WWE.
We never got it,
but scared to see it. Yeah. No, I'd be for Daniel Bryan. Donald Trump ain't PG. Yeah, that's for damn sure.
Oh god.
Will you guys watch Total Bellas? I'll check out the first 2 episodes, and if it's not interesting, I'll just pass. I love the Bellas, but we'll see. If you watch Total Drama, what season do you watch? Is there a show called Total Drama? Oh, there is actually a show called Total Drama. I thought he was talking about Total
Divas. Ugh.
Yeah. Tian Couponer says Sasha versus Bailey, Iron Woman 2. Yes, WrestleMania, make it happen.
Let's do it.
Paul Heyman. Tian Couponer also says Paul Heyman gave Stephanie $500 in $1 bill stripper money. Now here's something interesting.
God.
Comment. John McDermott says Randy Orton versus Kota Ibushi.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That'd be good. Sign me up.
Yes. John also said Shawn Michaels versus Dolph Ziggler. Yes, in a dream match, that'd be huge.
Sure.
Do you like "Treat You Better" by Shawn? Oh, I already answered that. Yeah, or I think you mean Shawn Mendes. Yeah, I never heard that song. Daniel, you already said Sasha Charlotte was your favorite. I was actually going to ask you that question. What was your favorite match? What match would you like to go back and relive from the July 25th Raw?
God, I could watch that episode.
Yeah.
Forever. It was Sasha Charlotte. Just emotion, and we didn't think she was going to win. And when it did, it was just a moment.
Yeah.
Holy shit, she won the title.
All right, let's see. John McDermott asked, would you ever date Selena Gomez? I'd probably go out with 1 or 2 dates with her because she's beautiful. So
she's very attractive. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, you already answered the NHL question.
The reigning, defending, undisputed Stanley Cup champions of the world, the Pittsburgh Penguins.
If Paul Heyman was from Pittsburgh, I would love for him to come out and just introduce.
They need to bring him to this city for the opening day. Oh my God, I'd freaking mark that.
Yeah,
man,
because he's from New York, right?
Yeah, so he's probably a Rangers fan.
But I think, but if he likes the Pens, could you imagine if they got him out?
Who was there? Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. We brought Shawn Michaels in, so hey, anything. Yeah. That was awesome. I never thought I'd see the day when Shawn Michaels was at a freaking Penguins game. You never would think that in a million years, but it happened. So hey,
John McDermott asked if you had a chance to, would you punch Justin Bieber in the face?
I'd freaking punch him in the face, and then I'd punch him in the face again until he looks like a freaking rag doll. Ooh, sorry. Is that a little mean?
If I had the chance to, against Justin Bieber, Daniel, I would cock this here fist. That would make it rain on that bitch.
Actually, after I'm done punching him in the face, I would feed him to the beast and take him to Suplex City.
Yes.
We'd never see him again.
I have nothing personal against the guy, but he just seems like he's got an ego or something. Yeah, like Chris Brown.
Or the boss.
I used to like really like him, and then his life, he went on a downward spiral, and he lost a lot of credibility and whatnot. So
sure,
we're not here to talk about Chris Brown. Yeah, I want to ask you something, Daniel. Did you see what were your thoughts on that commercial, the Suplex City commercial for 2K17?
Good. I thought you were gonna say the KFC commercial.
No, I'm not talking about Chicken versus Dolph Ziggler.
Why do they keep showing that? It's awful. Freaking awful.
Those guys are on SmackDown. Wouldn't it be better if it was somebody on Raw, I don't know, Roman Reigns dressed up as that freaking
Roman Reigns and the chicken?
No, Roman Reigns as Colonel Sanders versus Chris Jericho, I guess.
Oh, could you see Jericho? Don't give them ideas. We'll see that on Monday.
No.
No. So what was your question?
The Suplex City commercial that aired Sunday during Clash of Champions.
Freaking awesome. I'd rather watch 3 hours of that than Raw.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
That made me feel like that gives Suplex.
Can we see that seriously as a show?
Yeah.
On the network?
Yes. Because that gives it like a post-apocalyptic wasteland feel. I love
Ambrose fits so well in that. I'm like, that's Dean Ambrose. That's man.
Shaquille Cole. Rusev in the chicken suit. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
They
Brock
do
versus
that.
Justin Bieber. Yes. Justin Bieber would get killed.
Biebs.
Yes. He'd get killed in a matter of minutes. Like, think what Asuka did to Liv Morgan, but just Brock Lesnar would tear him apart.
Just Heyman laughing in the distance.
Yeah. That is what I love, guys. When the YWC comes together, we have
fun.
We support one another. So I thank everybody for asking questions. We'll be open for a couple more minutes, maybe 5 more minutes, just to be fair, because I love doing these things. Daniel and I were like, I guess I could say I'm Enzo, he's Cass.
How you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, poor Enzo and Cass. What have they done? What have they done with them?
Well, yeah.
Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah. A feud with the Shining Stars.
Yeah, the Shining Turds. I'm sorry.
That's the thing I hate. I hate that Raw has a lot of my favorites, but yeah. Now I'm gonna let me give you this.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to rip on the Shining Stars.
Have I heard of #Damn Daniel? That sounds Daniel. What is that? That sounds familiar.
Some guy on the internet. I've accepted it. He goes, "Damn Daniel."
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not kind of up with these viral things, so I kind of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the match with Bieber at SummerSlam. Oh yeah, that would have been great against the Wyatts.
What?
Yeah, it was supposed to be Cena and Justin Bieber, taking on the Wyatt family.
Who and Bieber?
Cena?
What?
Yeah.
Hell no. Who the hell was smoking ganja when they came up with that idea?
The same idiot that approved the old day crap. Who do you think?
The same guy that approved the K. I can't believe they're still that thing, and the fact that Mauro Ranallo recorded a little bit of he did like
Mauro, why?
No, Mauro. I love when he makes pop culture.
Put JBL on there. Freaking he's annoying enough. Oh, KFC, $9.99.
Nah, Michael.
Awful. I mean, he's gotten a little. At least has personality. Michael Cole was awful at Clash.
No, you know what?
No personality. I had to do commentary for my friend because Michael Cole sucks so bad.
JBL and Mauro Ranallo, I like what they're doing on.
Sure, there's a chemistry.
He needed something fresh, and they get Mauro Ranallo.
I love Tunga out of there. He is awful.
David Otunga is not. He reminds me of Byron Saxton. He's too much like the goody commentator, and I like David Otunga. And I honestly thought when he first came in, before the Miz was an A-lister, if they had given him an A-lister gimmick, he could have been a good mid-card champion. But he never did anything. Yeah.
I don't know why they have to have a 3-man booth.
Yeah.
I don't get that obsession. Like,
I mean, I think JBL's been doing. I think personally,
better.
He's doing well with Mauro Ranallo. I like their commentary together. Did you see when Mauro Ranallo, he said Joe Louis, and they're in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Say Joe Frazier, and JBL had to correct him. He's like, "Yo, ain't you a boxing analyst?" I love
that. Was funny. I like that little bit. Yeah. So I think they're doing better. It's just like Michael Cole.
Yeah.
I've been a
Cole fan for years, but I think he's doing a little better with Graves. Just let it be Michael Cole and Corey Graves. I think Michael Cole will do much better.
Yeah, why does Byron he doesn't add anything?
Booty Saxton. I mean, of course, we don't have anything personal against the guys. We just don't think they're good. I mean, the thing with Byron Saxton, he's too much of the goody commentator. I just don't like it, I want commentators to just make the matches interesting, get us invested in the feuds, get us invested in the characters and the performers, and that's it. Like they do on SmackDown. Because I will not stop praising SmackDown because they're just a freaking A show right now. Watching SmackDown last night, I had a big grin on my face because the show was so much fun. It went by so fast. Yes. And what they did with Ambrose and Cena, Oh my God, you gotta believe they're going into a Survivor Series clash.
That would be beautiful and glorious and every
Yeah.
other word you can think of.
I mean, think about it. What happened? Cena got sucker punched by AJ. I love that AJ showed that little mean streak. And then Cena tried to get in after him, and Ambrose had the roll up. And then, the referee counted, and AJ kicked out, and then Ambrose like, screw this, and he punched Cena. That was great. I mean, I love it. That's storytelling. That's continuity, and it makes us just want to watch the main event. Who's going to walk out as champion? Everybody has something to prove come No Mercy. So kudos to SmackDown for another great show. I loved everything on it, and I hope they keep kicking Raw's ass. This is just like in the beginning when, even though Raw was good, SmackDown was better in 2002 when the brand split happened. I mean, SmackDown was killing it. Yeah, so I hope it stays like this, and in years from now, SmackDown is still the superior brand. That's all I'm going to say. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to leave the chat box open for 2 more minutes. You guys have any other questions or comments, please leave them. Feel free to leave them, and we'll get to them. Daniel, your Giza wrestling report so far has been going well.
Thank you.
I still need to. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me on as well.
Yes.
I still need to finish episode 3. I started it, like I said earlier today, at the gym. But what do you have planned for next week? You said Nerd Coalition's going to be on Sunday.
NC is going to be joining me. Yep. Like I said, always looking to bring some guests on. We kicked it off with the Lex Man episode 1, you on episode 2, BSP for episode 3, and NC. It'll be on Sunday, this upcoming Sunday at around 6 p.m. So we will have a lot to talk about. Paige and the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic and TNA. We're going to figure out what's going on with that. We will, of course, know by then. So a lot to talk about.
Definitely. It's great. It's great to see you coming up with this new content. You've got the retro Raw reviews, which are going to be a lot of fun. I mean,
yes.
Yes, John, I saw that. Your girlfriend's a huge Justin Bieber fan. Nothing wrong with that. What was I going to say? Yes, because Raw in 1999, great stuff happening.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's a thrill because this is the first time I've ever watched this stuff. My goal was to go from 98. I started in 98. And I want to go all the way to 08 when I started. Yeah. So I got a lot of, trust me, I got a lot of history to catch up with.
Well, you're familiar with, like, things that happened in 99.
I know, but I'm not, like, specifically on this episode. No, I didn't know.
You're going to have, I mean, think about the thing. Stone Cold getting knocked into the river. Rock,
yeah, I watched that. That was great.
Oh. Rock burying Stone Cold's career and Stone Cold with the monster truck. Undertaker sacrificing or trying to sacrifice Stephanie in a black wedding. The Rock going face, becoming one of the hottest faces.
Amazing.
Jericho's debut.
I just watched that. That was great. Oh,
yes,
man.
That was incredible. And you were talking about it, TV show pay-per-view ratings down the toilet, Raw and snore.
Everything. It's all true. He said the truth.
And who'd have thought to predict the future all those years ago?
I know. Oh, man.
What else? Kurt Angle coming to WWE.
I'm getting there, yeah. When did the Dudley Boys? I got to be very close to them debuting. I'm at the end of August.
They came around September, around August.
September? Okay, so I'm almost on the Dudley Boys debut. That should be good.
Dudley Boys coming. Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys in the Terry Invitational Tournament.
Yeah, I'm right on the cusp of that.
Yes.
British Bulldog, I'm around that period. When he returned, that's where I'm at.
TN Couponer says, Daniel, you should start with the Raw where it was Taker, Shane, and
Vince.
Triple H versus Vince, Rock, and Austin. That's what I actually want to watch, too.
What year would that be? That would be 2000.
That was 99. Because it was during the corporate ministry.
Oh, wait. Okay, I remember. Yeah, well, that was a really good Raw. They were all really good Raws. Raw, that was probably, could you argue, the best year for just Raw specifically? 99. It was just like, wow.
The Attitude Era was great. I mean, what else happened in 99 that you're going to be checking out?
Beaver Cleavage. No, I'm sorry.
I didn't even stop to think about that until you mentioned it.
That was awful.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What do you say? I remember watching an episode where, okay, so here's Beaver Cleavage, right? And he's eating cereal, and he's like, breakfast is the support part of the day. He spits it out, and he's like, this cereal sucks. Can't eat this, it's dry. Mom!
was awful.
And his mom comes in with a big, like, jar of milk, like mother's milk and some shit. Like, wow.
That lasted, what, 2 weeks?
Yeah. Because, like, every time he got into some kind of dilemma, the mom who died, I don't know if you,
Cleavage.
yeah, Mrs. Cleavage died like many years ago, would make some kind of innuendo reference. And, like, I didn't get it back then, but I don't even.
Now you, whoa. How about Test? I felt like he really could have been a big star.
Yeah, Test, his feud with Shane McMahon, and him.
I'm loving this stuff. Him and Steph with the proposal.
Dude.
And then the wedding. And then it was like, what happened? Something happened.
Look at how awesome Raw was. Fast forward 17 years later, and look where we're at.
Raw is, as the Lexman said, Raw is dead.
I still need to watch that. I might
watch it. Amazing.
Yeah, no. Yeah. 99, 98, 2000, 2001, all great episodes of Raw. I mean, Austin McMahon, the best feud of the Attitude Era. Yep. The Rock's rival, The Undertaker, further establishing himself as one of the all-time greats. Triple H's evolution.
Oh, man.
Lots of great stuff, man.
Yes, Triple H. 2000 was best
like
year.
Ian Couponer just said, when Stephanie became Triple H's wife and she turned on Vince at Armageddon. Yes, great stuff. Who would have thought the McMahon-Helmsley faction would become as dominant as it was when it happened? I mean,
sure.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I gotta throw this in. If you remember this promo from SmackDown, it was promoting the WrestleMania 2000 main event. Rock's like, first you got Shane, turns on Vince. Stephanie turns on Vince.
Rock was so great. He was, oh man.
Yes, Shaquille Cole Cephas. I would love to do a trio podcast with Daniel and the Lex Man. That is
sure. If you'd be open for it, that would be awesome.
The Lex Man is like one of my idols, so to speak, on YouTube. That guy keeps it real. I respect the hell out of him, so he would be great to have on his channel. But with that said, guys, we are going to bring this Q&A to an end. Daniel, I want to thank you again for joining me as always.
Not a problem.
Definitely. Now, before we go off the air, guys, I have a very special announcement that I'd like to make regarding a future video that I'm going to do. Now, if you guys saw my Clash of Champions review, rant, whatever you want to call it, you guys know I did not enjoy that show. I said I wasn't going to watch Raw, and I skipped Raw. I stuck to my word. And I'm happy I didn't watch Raw because based on everything I saw from highlights, I didn't watch highlights, but based on what I saw and everything that Daniel tweeted, the Lex Man tweeted, the other guys tweeted, this show was crap. And honestly, I got to a point on Tuesday where I said to myself, you know what? After I had this conversation with Daniel on Twitter, I said to myself, you know what? I could probably book a much better episode of Monday Night Raw. And then a little light bulb went off in my head. So I'm proud to announce that my next video will be a fantasy booking for the upcoming edition of Monday Night Raw this Monday on October 3rd, because I'm not going to watch that 90s or that 70s show come to Monday Night Raw. But what I'm going to do is I am going to personally book my own edition of Monday Night Raw. I'm going to take all the bad decisions that they made on Monday, and I'm going to make those decisions mean something. I'm going to make it even better than what they did. And at the end, I'm going to present it live in a video, in a stream, and I'm going to encourage you guys to check it out and tell me what you thought. If the episode that I'm going to present to you guys in a few days before Monday Night Raw, if that was the episode you were going to tune into, would you watch? What grade would you give? I honestly feel, I don't book for WWE, I don't write, but I bet I could book a much better 3-hour show. So that's what I'm going to do, guys. We're going to start with this, and if this video gets a lot of feedback, a lot of positive feedback and everything, maybe I will just book Raws for the future and pay-per-views and just enjoy SmackDown, NXT, and Lucha Underground. So that will be the video that I'll be doing next. I'm very excited to do it because I have a good sense of creative, I've done creative writing in the past, and I think I could book a great 3-hour episode of Monday Night Raw. And Daniel, if you're able to join me on that day, I'd love to have you there because I really want you to see what I could do with a 3-hour Raw.
Sure, seeing as how I'm not watching Raw for the time being, I got time available now on Monday, so absolutely.
yes, I have ideas already jotted down. I'm gonna write it out on like a script or little bullet points.
Good.
And I will present it live for you guys on this channel. And like I said, Daniel, if you're able to join me, I would be honored because I want you to see what I came up with. But that's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna book my own Raw for October 3rd, and I'm gonna give you guys what I think would be an A show for 3 straight hours, because I honestly think I could book a much better show than what we got. I am not a fan of a few of the dumb decisions they made, and that made me say, you know what, let me book a show and let me show you how it's done for 3 hours. So that's going to be my next video. Daniel, at this time, if you want to plug your channel once more, I do have a link down below, but go ahead and
Thank you.
where they can find you at social media.
Yep, you can follow me on YouTube, or actually follow me on Twitter. That's at DanielGiza412. My YouTube URL is the same thing, youtube.com/DanielGiza412. Please click my like and subscribe button. I really appreciate the support. And I want to say thank you, Robbie. This was a really great Q&A. I'm glad we finally got around to doing this. So
Yes. You know, we are busy young men. We have bills to pay. We got to work hard and everything to make that money. But in the end, we always find the right time to do these. These are always fun to do. And then we got one more question for you, Daniel. Since you have the PS4, would you ever consider doing more gameplay videos?
Yes, I purchased 2K17. I purchased the special NXT edition. So there will be I got it. $100. It's going to be worth it. There will be a video unboxing and video gameplays coming to my channel, guys. That was an announcement that I hadn't really made into this point, but it's coming. So don't worry.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. You got one hell of a bundle for $100 considering your
awesome.
Game. You have to do a game review, Daniel. You have to tell me how that game is on the PS4.
Definitely.
Especially with everybody you're going to get to play as. I mean,
it's been a while since I bought one of these. Years. Probably.
Everybody, think about it. AJ Styles, Asuka, Apollo Crews, Nakamura, Austin. Well, do you get the DLC with that too?
Yeah, I get Goldberg, if I could say his name right. Yeah, I get it all.
Do you get, what about the new DLC, like the club and Austin Aries?
Let me see. Let's see if I can find it here. XT edition. PS4. Let's see what they got. Here it comes. Loading. Okay, what do we get? I get the Goldberg. I get an NXT TakeOver London Matt Relic card, including a piece of authentic ring canvas.
Yeah.
I get an 8-inch Finn Balor Demon collectible figurine. I get an exclusive canvas lithograph picture autographed by Shinsuke Nakamura. I get the NXT enhancement pack. I get the game.
So I guess the season pass is like you got to pay $30 separate for that.
I don't know if I'm going to do that because I'm paying $100 for this bad boy.
Yeah. Well, I will be doing a preview of that game with my good friend Brandon, aka the Wrestling Fan 16, on here. So definitely hope you'll be able to check that out. Just gonna talk about like what stands out to us about the game. Will we be buying it? You know, we'll go over the DLC and everything. I'm happy for you, man. I hope you enjoy that PS4 edition, because I know in the past they've done these with the Undertaker edition for 2K14, the Hogan edition for 2K15, and then last year was Stone Cold. And this year they're doing NXT, which you can't go wrong with that.
As soon as they announced it, I'm like, I gotta get this NXT edition.
Yeah. Now, what if, I'm just joking around before we go off there, what if they did a Bootios edition?
Oh, God. More Bootios. Can't get enough of that stuff.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you again, Daniel, for being on here with me, my friend. It's always a pleasure working with you. Guys, the link to his channel is down below in the description box. Also, he has a fan interaction video of sorts called How to Make WWE Monday Night Raw Great Again. Please go check that video out. Leave your comments down below in the comment section of that video. Let Daniel know what you think needs to be done to make Monday Night Raw great again. And to call it an end tonight, I gotta go with what John McDermott said. He said Raw is Bieber because they both suck. Wow. Shots fired. Thank you, John McDermott, and thank you, TN Couponer, for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for a great Thursday night Q&A. I think even though we've only done 2 Q&As, this was the best. There was a lot of just good times. We killed it. All right, so without any further ado, we're gonna call it here. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. He's Daniel Giza. I'm Robbie One Kenobi. He's the realest Giza in the room. And I'm a bunch of things, the Crown Prince, the real, can I say I'm a certified G? I don't know, but I'm the one that keeps it real on here, and I'm going to be booking Monday Night Raw next week. And if you guys are interested, tune into my live stream. It's not going to go 3 hours, but tune into my live stream, and I'll give you a 3-hour Monday Night Raw worth watching. So without any further ado, guys, we're going to sign off. Everybody have a good night. Make sure to share this video with your friends, like and comment, and subscribe to both our channels. And we'll see you all later. Peace.
See you guys.
See ya.